November 25th, and this is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topic is Taiwan, China, and KMT's chaotic strategy. First, Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen officially announced the construction of the indigenous submarine yesterday. And this is an important milestone for the development of Taiwan's national defense and military. Coincidentally, there are two events that aroused public attention at the same time. First, China's Shandong aircraft carrier is heading to the Navy base of Sanya in Hainan province. And China official media Global Time reported that experts say that the warship might pass through the Taiwan Strait. And this was obviously a provocative sentence. Another event is related to Taiwan's former president Ma Ying-jeou, because the U.S. once planned to sell 8 submarines to Taiwan in 2003, but former President Ma, who was the chairman of the KMT, collaborated with KMT legislators to block the arms sale. According to the media, KMT legislators blocked it around 69 times. Unexpectedly, former President Ma complained in 2015, and he said, the United States wants to sell submarines to Taiwan, but it had never happened for 14 years. Well, he said, I couldn't bear it. Well, that really came to everyone's surprise. What happened to former President Ma? How could he forget that it was KMT that denied the arms sales of submarines? In fact, I think the KMT policy always deviates from the script whenever it had something to do with the China issue. Here are some points. A. For the top of lifting the ban of U.S. pork with retobiming, this is the 12th time that Taiwan Premier Su Tseng went to the Legislative Yuan for interpellation. However, he was boycotted by the KMT legislators and couldn't get on the stage. At the same time, KMT Chairman Jiang Qi-chen requests to debate with President Tsai. Isn't it ironic? The Executive Yuan is the main office that is responsible for the import of the U.S. pork, and the premiers want to go to the Legislative Yuan for interpellations. However, the KMT rejected. Instead, they want a debate with President Tsai. What a mess. B. Another legislator I think is kind of deviates from the script is KMT legislator Jiang Wan-an. We know that Jiang Wan-an is a grandson of Taiwan's former president Jiang Jingguo and is also considered as a possible KMT candidate for the Taipei mayor election in 2022. And we'll talk about that. And this is Jiang Wan-an's grandfather, former president Jiang Jingguo. And this is great-grandfather Jiang Jieshi, Chiang Kai-shek. We know that Jiang Wan-an raised questions for people coming back from China to Taiwan. And he said restricting citizens from entering their country is against the Constitution. But the problem is the Taiwanese government has never restricted any Taiwanese from coming back to Taiwan. It's only required to obtain a negative result of RT-PCR test before entering Taiwan and must be quarantined for 14 days after they arrived. And this epidemic prevention policy is for all people coming back to Taiwan, not just to regulate people coming back from China. It seems like when it comes to China issue, Jiang Wan-an's statement turned out to be illogical. C. Joe Biden held a press conference today and announced his foreign policy team. I think what is important is that Biden said that he would give about the Trump's American first. He didn't want to do that. And he said, the United States is ready to confront our adversaries and not reject our allies. What does Biden mean by saying confront our adversaries? Who are the adversaries of the United States? Russia or China? I think Biden was giving a hint to China. If China does anything that harms the U.S. interests or creates a military confrontation in the Taiwan Strait, the United States will take action. So I think China might be disappointed about Biden's comment. Well, he's not so pro-China as they thought. Therefore, I don't think there will be any change on the 5-year MOU that was signed during the Taiwan-U.S. Economic Prosperity Dialogue, and the signing of the BTA after lifting the ban of U.S. pork with retobiming will also be in line with the progress. Here are the top stories. Today, we have 5 confirmed cases. They're all imported cases. 3 Indonesian and 2 Filipinos come to Taiwan for work. First, I want to talk about EPA Administrator Whitter responded his visit to Taiwan. According to Bloomberg, Trump EPA Chief scraps Taiwan visit after court scrutiny. And it said, EPA Chief Andrew Witters is canceling a planned trip to Taiwan on December 5th after concerns were raised about the cost of the travel near the end of Trump administration. And also EPA spokesperson James Hewitt said, due to pressing domestic priorities at home, Administrator Witters' visit to Taiwan has been postponed. Taiwan officials respond to the cancellation of the trip. President Tsai said today, we respect the plan that was made by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's administrator, but also feel regretful. However, the long-term environmental cooperation between Taiwan and the United States will continue to deepen its ties. Taiwan Minister of Foreign Affairs Joseph Wu also said, he said, we regret that the U.S. Administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, Andrew Whitter, decided that he could not visit Taiwan before the end of the year due to changes in his itinerary. And we know that another issue I want to talk about is that the Norwegian government mislabeling Taiwan students' nationality. We know that Taiwan's Foreign Affairs presses Norway to stop mislabeling nationality as China. Taiwan Minister of Foreign Affairs Joseph Wu said in an interview of a Norwegian media that this error has upset the Taiwanese public. Taiwan is not part of the People's Republic of China. We are calling on the Norwegian government to acknowledge the severity of the mistake and correct it as soon as possible. For your information, 22 days after the U.S. presidential election, Joe Biden finally held the press conference and starts the transition. According to Reuters, rejecting Trump's foreign policy approach, Biden says American expat. Joe Biden said at a press conference that, well, it's a team that reflects the fact that the American expat, ready to lead the world, not retreat from it. Once again, sit at the head of the table, ready to confront our adversaries and not reject our allies, ready to stand up for our values. Biden select his aide. We know that, well, Antony Blinken takes over the Secretary of State and Jake Sullivan as a national security advisor. Blinken said that, he said in a press conference, my late stepfather, Samuel Pisser, was the only one to survive the Holocaust after 4 years in concentration camp. And we can see over here, and this is Blinken's stepfather, Samuel Pisser. And actually, Blinken said something very touching about his late stepfather. Well, he said that his father ran to the tank, he fell to his knees, and said the only 3 words he knew in English that his mother has taught him, God bless America. And the GI lifted him into the tank, into America, into freedom. Well, I was very touched when he said that. Well, I think both Blinken and Sullivan are considered as pro-Taiwan faction. We know that Blinken once supported Taiwan in lifting the ban of the U.S. pork, and he treated that. Taiwan's move to lift trade barriers is good for American farmers, ranchers, and our economy. Stronger economic ties with Taiwan also support our shared domestic values and our common commitment to regional peace and stability. And also, we know Jake Sullivan has the Taiwan connection too. Well, he visited Taiwan in 2018 and talked with President Tsai in the presidential office. Jake Sullivan once said in a video conference with the Hudson Institute in May, and he said that the U.S. regional analysis should pay more attention to Taiwan issue. I think there might be possibility of some asymmetric move this year or in 2021, or we need to pay more attention to Taiwan. Well, in the end, I know that, China claims to blacklist Taiwan secessionists. According to Chinese state official media Global Times, well, China mainland authorities in charge of Taiwan affairs will blacklist a group of stubborn Taiwan secessionists, and even cited from a scholar saying that Tsai Ing-wen, who is chairman of DPP, are very likely to be listed. In response, President Tsai just said today that China's behavior is not appropriate. It is unhelpful to bilateral relations between both sides. Well, China have to watch out for the war cats. Well, this is the cat that, belong to President Tsai. And these are the cats that are owned by our Taiwan representative, Xiao Beijing, in the United States. Well, they are war cats. Well, that will be the view for today. I hope you have a nice night. This is Catherine Chang from Taipei, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.